Hi guys, it's Ray. Today I am going to show you how I reverse weed or weed in place, whatever you want to call it, on a tumbler. I have 2 decals cut already. I don't know if you can actually see the outline at all, but it's there. This one doesn't have a ton of tiny detail, but sometimes they do. Like this one, for example, I weeded these letters in place because they're so teeny to try and weed around. So, and this cup would be done, but I forgot to tighten up a screw on my turner, and I ended up with one little flat spot on the bottom where it fell and landed on a popsicle stick. So that's going to need some touch up and another coat. Anyways, I'm just going to get on with this. I'm going to put the decals on the transfer tape. I'm using Starcraft's permanent adhesive, Starcraft HD. This is a gloss white. And my transfer tape is a medium tack from 143 vinyl. It's my favorite transfer tape, so I use it for everything. And I will keep these pieces. This particular kind doesn't come with a backer paper, so I'll just wrap it back on here to use the next time. So I'm just going to burnish them a little bit. You don't want to over burnish onto the transfer tape. If you over burnish it, you can actually cause it to adhere to its own backing. So you have to watch that. And I'm going to bring in my cup cradle. This is just some PVC pipes that were assembled into an X shape with foam noodles on it. I have 2 sizes of noodles on this one. So, and this is that camo cup I did with alcohol inks a little bit ago. So, I'm going to remove the backing paper. And this is going to be awkward because I'm coming at this sideways, but I'm going to place the decal. And I'm going to start in the middle, smoothing it out. I'm hoping this decal isn't too large for this cup. I think I caught a smaller one, but I just happened to grab the larger size one, of course. So I'm actually going to go ahead and start removing the transfer tape because I want to try and be able to smooth that out better. And again, this decal I probably wouldn't typically reverse weed. Because this particular side isn't terribly small and finicky. And you can see I'm totally messing up this little dog. So I'm just going to push the birds down. I'm going to try and fix that once I get that portion weeded back off, because I'm not happy with that. So I'm going to start on that side. And it may come off in pieces like that, and that's fine. Because I didn't adhere this all the way, I can just get it with my fingers. So I'm going to come around this side first. And this cup probably could have used another layer of vinyl. Or, yep. Probably could have used another layer of resin. It's not 1000% smooth. You can use whatever weeding tools you like. I have a whole bunch. This one happens to be one of the Cricut hook tools. But I'm going to try and lift this pooch's head back up so I can smooth it. The other side of this has more detail. And if I do have some air bubbles, I'll go ahead and pop them with my tool tomorrow if they haven't smoothed themselves out. So I use a combination of the hook tool, and then I use the pin pen weeding tool, also from 143 vinyl, the former 651 vinyl. But these bubbles, if they haven't smoothed themselves out, sitting in the warmth overnight, I will eliminate them tomorrow before I put the final coat of epoxy on. So, to flip this, I'm going to find my center and rotate it over and right back into the cradle. And then this one, I'm just eyeballing it straight. I do have rulers that I can take on and off of here, and I actually have rubber bands that I pull up around my ruler and use as a guide on something that's really finicky. I'm not for this purpose, just because I did want to keep this somewhat short and sweet. A lot of people don't understand what you mean when you say to reverse weed. So that was the main purpose here. So transfer tape's got to come off. And you don't have to burnish hard at this phase. You can rub it all down and make sure it's well adhered after it's on there. But you don't need all of the extra burnished down hard. You mostly just want to make sure your designs are on there well. I mean, this top piece is much smaller letters. And has more finicky detail. And this deer has a lot of detail in it at the bottom. But it's just take your time. Make sure you get all the little bits. Again, I'll smooth out the bubbles and rough spots. If I decide there's too many rough spots, I'll pull this off and start over, but these little grass pieces wouldn't probably stay correctly if I tried to weed it the traditional way. So that is how you reverse weed or weed in place on a tumbler. Do make sure you have a layer of epoxy down before you attempt this. Don't do it straight over your alcohol ink. You will chip it. Let's see, look, I missed little birds in there. And I will double check this in better light again also, just to make sure I get all of it. Because I can see this last bird's head. There it goes. Okay. Now I got it all. But, simple as that. Again, I'll smooth this all out before I put my final coat of epoxy on it. I'll get the rest of this dust off. I don't know where the dust all came from, to be honest. But, that's it. Simple reverse weeding. I will try and get on here to do a more intricate one on the rainbow tumbler I did yesterday. I have a similar decal to this I want to use on that one. That's a sea turtle with the same saying. So that'll be a lot more detailed. So I'll pop on and I'll do that another day. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or anything, as always, feel free to ask in the comments and I will get back to you. And if you would, please give me a like and a subscribe. I'd very much appreciate it. And if there's anything you want to see, feel free to ask. I'm always open to suggestions. Thank you. Bye.